Hey guys, forewarning, if you want new visual content today, you're not going to get it. I discover later in this video that this is gameplay I've posted before, but it just goes to highlight actually how much I haven't been playing this game. So if you want new gameplay, tough, you're not going to find it here. So yeah, suck it up and enjoy what I've got to say, I guess. Hi guys, Leighton here, and I guess I'm going to talk about Hardline today. I could talk about the DLC and read the list of things to you and pretend that that's super fascinating, but it's not really. Some new maps, new masks, some that's going to be nighttime. There you go. That's the list of stuff. Let's talk about the game just overall. That's more interesting to me. The stats are still pretty curious. 3,900 when I recorded at peak time early this evening on PC. That's 4,400 peak. PS3 5,400 peak. Xbox 360 4,000 peak. Xbox One 21,000 peak. 31,000 on the PS4. Compared to Battlefield 4, 25,000 peak on the PC. 21,000 on the PS3. 12,000 on the Xbox 360. 19,000 or nearly 20 on the X1 and 28,000 on the PS4. New consoles keeping up pretty well with Battlefield 4 there. Everything else way down, like a quarter maybe of the amount of people playing, which is a crazily small amount of people. So this new DLC, maybe some people have obviously got premium, but for those that don't, that 5,000 people is now going to be split. And then that every DLC further on from that point has the possibility of it being split again. That's a real big problem. And I swear that a lot of the issues with Hardline I really feel could have been avoided. I really feel like they focused, as I said all along, and I keep saying, if you focus too much on trying to please everything and everybody, this attitude that they have with the Battlefield games at this point, which drives me insane. This attitude of, let's just make everyone happy and you can do whatever you like, and you know, if you don't like that one thing, then don't do that one thing. It's a really, like, middle of the road, just kind of a cop-out answer. You know, like how I've seen other producers and stuff say things like, you know, if you don't like it, just don't play it, blah blah blah. That's like a really kind of stupid thing to say, because it doesn't really answer any of the questions. It's just saying, like, you know, I don't have an answer for you, so let's just choose like the most simplistic thing I can think of. It was pretty clear from the outset for the longest time that Hardline was aiming towards a more console market. You know, the silliness of some of the things that were in the game, you know, the masks, the camos, all this crap, it just doesn't interest me. The fact that, you know, even pre-release, even though I only got to go to like maybe one or two of the events where they were actually pre-testing and so on, so I didn't get hands-on that much before the release. They had 2 betas. They had tons of time to really check the weapon systems and so on. Really didn't happen. Also, what I got told was not what happened. I was told, of having multiple conversations, that the weapons were going to be more like some of the more old school shooters, where every gun has a very specific feel to it. You know, actually, I'll tell you something that was interesting. I was playing the Black Mesa this week. I was playing Black Mesa and I was playing some multiplayer. Now, all of the guns in that have a completely unique feel to them. I mean, obviously, it's a bit easy with that game in some respects, because you have the alien weapons, you know, you have a real mix of things. It's just like, you know, shotgun, you have the assault rifle, etc, etc. So it's a little bit more simplistic from that point of view. But the key is how the game played out. The fact that you had that strong differentiation between the weapons meant that the gameplay really changed up. Whereas Hardline, you just don't see that. And it was just, you know, so obvious that with having the monetary system, okay, that it meant that people didn't really have to, you know, think too much about what it was going to be. You just pick the expensive guns and they just turned to be the best. And it's like, how did nobody see that that was going to be an issue? And it's too late at this point as well. That's the other problem, is it's way too late at this point to change that up. Unless, I suppose, they really, you know, put some serious nerfs in and things. But I feel like after 2 betas and all the time it took to release, they're just not going to put that time in to fix that issue. I think it's just going to be there now. I don't think they're really going to address it. which it sucks. It kind of, you know, it doesn't make you want to play the game. I don't really know many people that I play with right now who want to play Hardline. Like, I struggle to find people to squad up with because people just don't want to play the game. And to be quite honest with you, I just very often don't feel like playing the game. It's just... I've gotten very apathetic about it, and it's become like almost like Titanfall for me, where it's got that X factor where I just don't know what it is, but it doesn't make me want to play. And I swear that, I mean, maybe it's personal to me, but I swear for me, a lot of it is that the objective play doesn't really seem that tactical. It doesn't seem that, you know, you don't have to think that much. It's just like, oh, there's that guy over there, I'm going to go get him. And that's pretty much all there is to it. There isn't a lot of smart flanking. I mean, look at a map like Dust Bowl. There's not really any specific routes because it's just so big and open. So you're just kind of driving around, and it's like you don't sort of think like, yeah, let's get down this side and like we'll get onto them and stuff like you might see on some other maps and things. It's just too open. Another thing was, as I've said multiple times again already, they really didn't focus enough on capitalizing on the maps that they have. They just slap down the other game modes into that map, and it concerns me that when you look at stuff like the jungle map, that's still happening. It's still a thing. They've actually said that right now with the new jungle map, they're focusing on the conquest design first, and then those other things are going to be like secondary. They're going to worry about rush and domination and all those other bits and pieces later. They're not concerned with that at this point. And I'm just like, really? Like, after everything everyone has said in the community about really wanting maps that are designed for specific game modes, at this point, that's still not a consideration. I find that really surprising, and kind of annoying actually as well. But I mean, maybe all this is just my own thing, you know, maybe I'm the only one who thinks that this is the case, and that, you know, I mean, maybe I'm just in the far minority and everyone's happy. Maybe that is the case. I mean, when I look around at other YouTube producers' channels, they're getting like shit tons of views and people are fucking loving it, even though it's just posting just fairly standard gameplay and maybe just reading press releases. But apparently that's fucking good enough. So, you know, as I say, maybe people are really happy with these kind of like middle of the road games, and it's just good enough. Like, whatever you throw out there, people just lap it up and be like, yeah, it's got some guns and things moving around, and yeah, it's all good. For me, moving into Battlefield 5, it's going to be really the make or break for me. I'm going to put that cards on the table right now. If Battlefield 5 sucks, then much like Call of Duty, I'm out. I'm going to put my cards down on the table right now and say that. And that's not like a, you know, won't go back on this. This is cards down. This is what happened with Black Ops and COD. Like, I was like, seriously, if they didn't sort their shit out, I'm done. And they really didn't, and I was like, that's it, and I haven't played another COD game since. Have I posted this gameplay already before? I feel like I have. I feel like I've used this gameplay before, but whatever, I really don't care. I didn't even have any new gameplay, that's the point, you know. I was looking through my gameplay, and like the last one I had was like April 15th or something, so I've not played the game for maybe a month at this point. Or nearly a month anyway. So yeah, when we come to the next game, I've got some ideas, and like I've said, I'm going to do this series. Unfortunately, at the moment, as I've said multiple times, I'm having a stress week where I can't really do much. So it makes it difficult for me to turn those videos out, but I will be getting them together so I can talk through some of the things that I want to see there. But I want to see some significant changes. I don't really want to just see Battlefield 4, you know, and the next one, which, I really want to see some quite significant changes. I'm really irritated that the jungle map thing, as nice as it is, has taken like a back seat. You know, the team play initiative has taken a back seat to that, despite the fact that I've been told it's still ongoing. But I'm like, how much time does it really take to, you know, change up some scores and rethink some of the team play stuff that we have going on there? And quite honestly, you know, I still think that's going to be a positive thing to do, but it's like, come on. It's been how long now? It must have been like 4 or 5 months, if not a little bit more. And all those other initiatives got pushed through so quick, and the team play initiative has just been pushed back. I really am starting to feel like I keep getting told, every time I speak to someone at Visceral or DICE or somebody that I know at EA, and I ask about this, I keep getting told that like team play and all this kind of stuff is a real priority and it's really important to them. and then I just keep not seeing it in the game. Like, every time I get told this, it just ends up not being the case. I'm starting to feel like they really don't give a shit about it, and that it's just totally unimportant, and that they're much more concerned with just making shiny games where a lot of people can just buy that game, and they don't give a crap really about how it's playing out. I mean, you have like Hotwire, and of course we have Heist and Crossfire, all these other things, and they just don't play that great. A lot of the time part of it is to do with how people are playing, but with Hotwire, for example, it can be really this is the thing that's the most annoying, is that it can be good. It can be good depending on how people play the game, but a lot of the time people just really don't focus on the right elements. People are dicking around. The other thing that we've seen is these servers where people are grinding. We see less of that now, I guess because people have grinded out what they need and they've just stopped doing it, or they're not playing the game anymore. But it really bothered me that it's like, they put in place a system where you had to obviously gain money to unlock all your stuff, and then they seem to have servers up nearly 24/7 which were enabling people to grind this shit out, and it was like, no, you know, classic no kill servers, this only, etc, etc, people just basically cheating to get the stuff they want. They just stayed up, and even when I reported it, like, it was like, oh yeah, we'll look at it, and then just nothing. This has been the case with other games as well, and it's like, why would you go to all the effort of making it so that you have a certain system in place and then not enforcing it? Why would you do that? It's really, really annoying. So what I want to see with the next Battlefield game, Battlefield 5, if that's indeed what it ends up being called, I really want to see the focus on the objective play. And the reason for that is that we've had this silliness now. We've had this stupid time. Let's please get back to, you know, a proper tactical Battlefield game. You know, the war. Bring the Battlefield war back in. Okay, let it be punishing. Let the learning curve be difficult. Let the weapons have, you know, very different handling, very different properties. Make them good for certain situations and not in others. Don't make it so that one gun, the beginning gun or the best gun, handles everything well, or even on like a really medium level. Okay, you have to make it, and if that means not having so many guns, then so be it. You know, I really am sick of having, like, you know, new guns, like new guns for the new, when the new map is coming out. And like I keep saying, like, we still don't have the team play initiative stuff in. We don't have that, and they're putting more guns into the game because more guns is what fucking Battlefield 4 needs right now, isn't it? Seriously, you know, you have, it's just like, when I'm playing the CTE, I'll still just take my ACR for engineer, because, like, it's fine. Like, I don't need the new guns. It's fine. I have guns at work. I don't need like 20 guns, you know. And if it's all so that just freaking YouTubers can make some videos going like, ah, look, check out these new guns, it's like, check out what? It's still the same fucking bullshit, you know. Why don't we actually add something else in? And night maps, you can keep your night maps, right? I have not spoken about night maps because I think it's fucking pointless. You know, seriously, I'm getting kind of annoyed with just some of the stuff that's coming in, and I'm getting annoyed with the fact that, like, you know, I've tried really, really hard to sort of look at the positives and so on, but I'm just getting sick of things not going in the right direction, and, you know, things that would honestly make the game more positive just be completely ignored, you know. Take a stand. Say to people, it is not okay to do this in the game, you know. Stop trying to make a game which just is like totally middle of the road and it's like, hey, if you want to play this way, buddy, you can do. No, don't do that. Make it so that the maps are big enough that you have to have on and off combat at different situations. So you actually have to secure a position and then move on to the next one. It means they can come back. That's what you get with some of the larger conquest maps, but they need to go further with it. They need to make it that it's immersive. It needs to almost take a step towards armor, but not obviously to the point where it's as serious as that. It just needs to have something so you actually have to have engaging situations instead of just this constant on-off bullshit combat middle of the road. Make it so that people have to play together. Don't make it so that people can just drive around and around. I've had it when I've been streaming in Hotwire that I will literally just sit there in my car and I have like one hand supporting my jaw, like my right hand, and my left hand on WASD, and I'll just be like that, and I'll just be like and I'll just be like that for like 15 minutes. I'm not even like driving near the base either. I'm like driving around the map because people just don't work together. It's like you'll have and the other thing is people always say this to me, right? The next thing they always say is they'll say like, oh, well, if you want that kind of gameplay, why don't you just play competitive? No, that completely, it's missing the point by a wide margin, okay? Playing competitive and having strong public games are two completely different things. Because in competitive play, people will literally look at the most sort of efficient ways of playing and then nothing else beyond that. You know, so it'll be like, okay, that's why you only see like maybe 2-3 guns getting used, because they're like, okay, this is the best thing that works in X situation, you know, and they'll look for like, it's like playing CS, right? Loads of people say to me all the time, like, Luton, have you ever played CS? Yeah, no, I've never played that game. I've played CS a lot. Okay, I played it loads and loads and loads with the first times, right, the first iterations, right, when I was like playing years ago. All right, I don't have any interest in it now because it's not. It doesn't have the. Oh yeah, yeah. I've totally used this gameplay before. It doesn't have that kind of mechanics. It doesn't have the type of gameplay that I want to see anymore. The reason being is it's so like. It's just learned gameplay, and that's often what competitive stuff is like, I find, from watching. You know, you can get the really cool moments, but a lot of the time I just find it's like learned gameplay, and it's the kind of people that are just working together all the time, and it's like, that is a completely different thing to a public game where you can have the more kind of crazy random things happen, but at the same time, most of it, you know, you can have the amazing, more focused games. It used to be that you would have more of those focus games, and it's just been deteriorating. I mean, I was talking about this same topic back in Battlefield 3, so it just goes to show that really they haven't been doing anything to improve the situation. Yeah, I have used this gameplay because I remember getting this elite kill right here. Watch this. Psh, bam. Takes that down. Yeah, sorry if I'm reposting this gameplay, but honestly, I mean, it actually is very appropriate because it just shows, like, I don't have any new gameplay for you to show because I've not been playing, so there you go. At least I'm being honest about it and not, like, pretending to like the game just so you can, like, maybe get more enjoyment and stuff, you know? It's like, look, I'm telling you what I think, so, you know. Anyway, I'm so just blah at the moment. I really am. I'm just so sick of it. And people are probably going to dislike this video for that very reason, but, you know, what do you want? I was just sitting here this evening as well before I even started recording this, and I was just like, do I want to make this video? Do I want to, like, be down? But it's like, what else can I say? Like, I can't just be like, hey guys, let's play this today because I like to blah blah blah. It's like, no. I'm going to tell you what I think. It's a sad state of affairs as well, and I kind of feel bad for Visceral. Like, it must suck to work really, really hard on a product, and then, you know, I mean, I guess from their point of view, they really felt like some of the things that they were doing were the right things, even though, you know, I made mention of telling them some things that I really think were not going to work, and emphasizing those, and then them just being completely ignored. Like I've said before as well, with some of the weapon things, I highlighted some of these facts at meetings and stuff that were had, and just totally ignored, you know, just didn't take it into consideration or whatever. Also, the gigantic games, I've said for the longest time that on some maps, you know, some maps need to have, or, you know, some game modes maybe need to have player caps. In fact, I actually seem to remember it was going to, I seem to remember, this is don't quote, but I seem to remember them saying something like some of the game modes were going to be capped, so that they couldn't have the 64, to ensure that they were more tactical and focused, and they didn't have the kind of just crazy all-out insanity all over the place. Seems that that's not the case, and it's just turned up to being straight back to what it was, which I always think is just terrible. So I don't know what the future is really for at this point. Like I say, nobody that I know. Look at this guy right here. Oh yeah, this is why I got raged in the chat, because this guy was, I said this on the last time we had this video, this asshole just driving round and round and round, and it's like, dude, get in the fucking game, seriously, like, play the game. And this just kind of highlights exactly what I'm talking about, you know, you just got people doing this kind of shit. It just kind of ruins the whole thing. Yeah, see, I get annoyed and type it in the chat. This is almost going to be the same video I posted a while back for a new couple of bits and pieces, but anyway. But the point is, I don't really know what the state of affairs is going to be for me from this point out with Hardline. Like I say, a lot of people, I find it very difficult to find people to want to play with now, so I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm not going to exploit you guys by just posting news videos and be like, hey, look what I just found out on the press release that everybody's seen, you know, because that's just bullshit and I don't like doing that. So we'll see. There's a lot of other interesting things coming up. There's the squad game, which I'm very interested in. That's a very, very tactical game. It's going to be quite full on. Armour obviously suits me down to a T, so that's going to be really good. Armour's doing very well on the channel as well, so, you know, it's positive for me all around. I definitely have some more stuff there. But I thought I would just make this video today, not because I'm capitalising on the fact that people are talking about DLC, but just because I haven't spoken or posted anything about Hardline for a while, and I thought it'd be you know, something I need to post and say, because to be honest, I really don't know if I'm going to post anything more of Hardline at this point. Not even to give you guys updates on the DLC. If you want to, please tell me down below, but I just don't think people are that interested in it. And maybe if I had like a really large channel, people would like watch it because I'm a large channel, but I'm not a large channel. And, you know, spending time to work on those reviews and stuff is probably just going to be wasted time for me. I don't really think that it's going to be something people want to watch, and I wouldn't want to necessarily just make... I mean, please tell me in the comments. I want to know what you guys think. If you really want me to make this kind of content, I can do it. I can do it. It's fine. I can play it and tell you what I think. But I just don't know whether people really want to hear what I think on this anymore, you know? It's like... I really am feeling so apathetic this week about it, and just in general actually. I'm having a bit of a down phase on my channel at the moment. I'm just a bit like, I've just had a lot going on, and then like I don't sometimes feel like it's going in the right direction, and I'm a bit fed up. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. Just tell me your whole thoughts about like Hardline and where we go from here, I guess. That's what I've been thinking about at the moment. But for me, it's just so many mistakes, and I feel so annoyed, and if it just continues to head in this direction, I just don't know where we're going to go. It really is the last chance saloon for me when it comes to the next Battlefield game, and like I said, cards on the table, that's what I'm saying. If it doesn't work out, and they really don't listen, and they go in the stupid directions that they have done with some of the more recent games, and I feel like Battlefront is going in that direction as well, then I'm just done. Like, there's nothing more for me there to enjoy. Tell me what you think, guys. Thanks for watching this whole thing, and yeah, I'll see you next time.